All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game. This is going to be a game between Chaemiko versus LabyRinth, taking place here on Terranistan. What Chaemiko spawning as the teal human on the top left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, LabyRinth spawning as the yellow undead on the bottom left. Human versus undead in this Death Knight versus Paladin matchup. Paladin has become much more popular as the primary hero as things are getting underway here. Now, some players there's some comments about Paladin and why they don't go for Divine Shield all the time. If I generally feel if your Paladin is your third and final hero, Divine Shield generally works better as the Paladin needs a way to protect itself. But early on, if you are opening things up and you are going for Paladin first, often the Devotion Aura works out a bit better as, well, he's able to keep your army alive a little bit longer, and because it is earlier in the game, he is not going to be nearly as focused or against high-level hero nukes. We'll see how all of this comes together here as the Paladin now cleans up the remainder of this creep camp, and if he goes for Divine Shield or Devotion Aura. Back down to the south side here, our Footman is able to scout out LabyRinth's attempt at fast expansion, placing that down a Ziggurat here, which will be upgraded to a Nerubian Tower, and then also trying to start haunt that gold mine. Game is already getting underway here, but Paladin, Forest Troll, Shadow Priest, and a couple of Footmen already moving on out. Militia now being called out as well, as Chaemiko knows, you know what, if you're going to stay in your neck of the woods, setting up an expansion, I too can do the same exact thing, and well, this game could turn into a bit more of an economic game. Footman making sure that the Nerubian Tower and that haunted gold mine does in fact go down. Footman trying to retreat all the way down to 15 hit points. One more tap in the back will take him down, but all of that scouting information already given to that Paladin all the way on the other side of the map. Thanks for the stream. Well, thank you for tuning in. Thank you to all my Patreons out there. I don't even really acknowledge you all that much. Very rarely ever. But you guys still are keeping this channel afloat by supporting it. I've said it in the past, I can't really do this for a living, but if it wasn't for the money, well, I would definitely have to consider how I am spending my time. A little bit easier of a pill to swallow if I'm able to, take care of some financial needs. So thank you everyone out there watching on YouTube who has ever subscribed on Twitch, has ever cheered, who's ever seen an ad. You guys all together are keeping this channel going. Death Knight of LabyRinth now going for a Necropolis here on the bottom left-hand side of the map. And this is almost turning into anything you can do, I can do better, except the undead is the one expanding very often. So a third base by LabyRinth already. You can see, well, more workers could be trained up here. Haunting of the gold mine could start as we're now looking at the Paladin making his way down. Death Knight, we're going to come back around, perhaps exchange a couple of quick blows there. There's a Holy Light there. Death Knight wants to head inside the base here, perhaps get some damage onto all of these peasants who are just trying to simply work. Death Knight, with that faster movement, speaking of find a Death Coil, take down one peasant there, but doesn't know the timing on the Arcane Tower. Well, Arcane Tower and tower upgrades in general look a little bit better. I think that's one of the few things that look better in WarCraft 3, the reforged graphics. You can actually see the progress of a building as it is being upgraded as an opponent. As you can see at what it's transforming into over time. I think that does give a little bit of a tactical advantage. But then after that, though, most players do not like the reforged graphics. It is just harder to process a lot of the information that's going on. Blasphemy. Well, I call it like it is, right? Like the tower, if a player could walk into a base and then know how far the progress is on the upgrade of an Arcane Tower, they could theoretically know, wait a second, I can stay around this fight just a little while longer. As we're looking at the Paladin now getting, well, picked up. Wand of the Wind. Staff of Teleportation not going to work. Paladin going to be forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal to escape. Meanwhile, down to the south side here, Necropolis, Haunted Gold Mine has not been started, perhaps getting cleaned up a bit by the Footman, Forest Troll, Shadow Priest, and that Forest Troll Berserker. It could be considered blasphemy. Any one who says, "Hey, you know what? Reforged graphics is better than the classic graphics." Personally, I like the classic graphics. I'm able to see more of what's going on in the game, and I'm able to, well, make decisions a bit better rather than what seems to be a little bit more oversaturated style, much more WoW style graphics um, in Warcraft 3 than well, what would normally be found in an RTS. Paladin still wandering around here, is sitting at level 3, does have Devotion Aura, but I am surprised that we aren't going, well, nope, I take it back, there are dual barracks now, but I don't really see what he's trying to train up. Normally, I would be seeing a blacksmith and then riflemen being cranked out of this dual racks, maybe also with an arcane, well, probably one arcane sanctum to try and keep healing a little bit easier and lighter on that paladin. And also I'm looking to see if there is a blood mage as a second hero coming in from Chaemiko. So all of my predictions so far coming true. There's dual racks, rifleman, and arcane sanctum, and that blood mage. Things just look a little dry for a moment as the paladin now coming in to engage here, trying to take down all of these acolytes here and doing a pretty decent job. Now, I am surprised about this, though. The Paladin is cleaning up every single one of these acolytes, but he doesn't have a Scroll of Town Portal here, and it is all going to be in that Goblin Zeppelin in order to get that tactical retreat out. A single web coming in from a Crypt Fiend or a Gargoyle being able to take down that Goblin Zeppelin would have spelled a certain doom, but instead a beautiful play by Chaemiko as, well, that Paladin getting very close to level 4. Meanwhile, Death Knight is already at level 4 as we're looking at the Blood Mage funneling a bit of mana into that Paladin right now. All right, Crystal Ball, Scroll of Town Portal is going to be necessary, but you can't see the footprint of the Zeppelin in Classic. Footprints. Always about the footprints. Coming back through the bottom left-hand side of the map, Nerubian Tower and Spirit Tower being upgraded nicely here. We're still looking at 2 additional, acolytes perhaps could start saturating this gold mine. Instead, Paladin going to go ahead and dive on here, try to put in a bit of pressure, siphon mana. There's a death coil onto that Paladin. Paladin has plenty of things to try and do here, as the Gargoyle is now going to perhaps try and shoot or shut down that Goblin Zeppelin play. A lot of ghouls all in this position. The army is rather small. A big roar now being brought in. This is going to be major damage as those ghouls suddenly racking up that damage much more quickly. Holy Light trying to save the Blood Mage here. Militia now being brought back over. We're going to get a surround onto that Blood Mage. Blood Mage, however, has a Holy Light and that additional armor. If you remember, as the Blood Mage down to 30 hit points, going to use the Scroll of Town Portal. Holy Light continuing to try and save multiple targets there. One ghoul does end up getting taken down as a bunch of militia here going to get cleaned up. Death Knight now going to clean up the remainder of all of these peasants. This is a mass ghoul strategy coming in from LabyRinth, who was able to just kind of overwhelm his opponent. We're still looking at Ghoul Frenzy, and that for that faster attack speed, those ghouls essentially turning into Zerglings, being able to reach their targets quickly and then shred up anything as long as they themselves are not getting focused down too quickly. Death Knight looking to clean up the remainder of this creep camp here. Lich already on the board with plenty of intelligence-based item, already up to 520 mana at level 1. So there's going to be plenty of Frost Novas here. Still looking for that first Obsidian statue. That's just a ghoul. Where's the Obsidian statue? Still don't... Well, Crypt. Is there no Slaughterhouse? Okay, Slaughterhouse coming online here. There's the Obsidian statue coming online, as well as the Lich should be picking up an Orb of Corruption as soon as that upgrade to Black Citadel is done. Meanwhile, however, army of Chaemiko coming back across here, bringing in more Riflemen, 1-0 upgrades. Blood Mage does not have that much. There's a Death Coil Frost Nova across, a Rifleman there is going to be able to survive, and now a little bit of tightness here to try and make sure that the ghouls are all unable to find their targets easily. More siphon mana the Lich had plenty of mana to still continue to siphon as we're trying to banish units in order to try and save them. You can see the banishing of those priests while they are in the ethereal form are actually healing much more quickly, as we are looking still at a flying machine keeping track of everything in the air. Rifleman, Paladin going to continue to put on all of this pressure here. No flame strike, so these buildings will be difficult to take down, as the Paladin will need to Holy Light and try and keep all of these units alive and well. More siphon mana back in. Meanwhile, Undead keeping its distance, perhaps trying to reset and regroup, as Labyrinth still has a bit of a small army. Paladin pushing on through here. Remember, this is only a base trade scenario. This is Chaemiko trying to take down this base so that the economic advantage doesn't become too much. Siphon mana breaking the link right there. No ethereal form. There's one ethereal, as the priests are going to go ahead and heal back up quickly. There's a Holy Light now onto the Lich. Lich now trying to retreat back, as a level 2 Death Coil will be necessary. Dark Ranger now coming online as that third and final hero as well. Still don't have an Orb of Corruption. And with this, well, Chaemiko is trying to shut down this expansion and this base before too much gold is extracted. All right, a lot of experience will be given. Paladin may not get to level 5 though, as the Spirit Towers and the last 2 Acolytes shouldn't give that much experience. Meanwhile, we're looking at the Death Knight wandering around on the inside here, perhaps going to go after that mortar team. Well, one more shot and then a Death Coil would have finished it there. Instead, now going toe-to-toe with a Goblin Shredder. Lich, Dark Ranger now making its way over. Lich could easily pick up an Orb of Corruption. There you go. Buys that Orb of Corruption. There's some big damage with a big Frost Nova across that, that's totally suspecting priest there, as the engagement could be getting underway here. Death Knight now trying to come back around. There's some Death Coil Frost Novas. Trying to find some more priests. Ghouls now trying to swarm back over. Siphon Mana going to shut down the Death Knight. Blood Mage now sitting at level 2 Siphon Mana. Gonna just try and drain as much mana as possible, as the Ghouls are finding their target, and the Dark Ranger getting up an army of skeletal minions as well. More and more damage getting racked back up. A Blood Mage trying to take away all of the mana from that Dark Ranger has done so. Lich surprisingly has a lot of mana, even though it does not look like it could get off another Frost Nova here in just a moment. And the sheer fact that the Lich has mana without it looking like it has mana could prevent it from getting siphon mana. You're trying to control how much mana your opponent has by looking at that status bar. But really, that Lich, even though it looks like only has a sliver of mana, is up to 50 already. More damage still racking up here. Dark Ranger trying to finish things off. More skeletal minions could be coming back around. Riflemen trying to survive here. 67 supply compared to 57 army size. Labyrinth is still significantly smaller, but he is getting up that Lich with plus 13 damage as well. All right, more damage still getting racked back up. More Dark Rituals. There is a blast right there. Lich still sitting on very little mana right now, but hasn't really been siphoned all that much. Death Knight needs to find a way to heal. Has a potion of healing. Has I believe, used a scroll of healing right there, as we're still seeing more Dark Rituals. Or was that a Death Pact? Nope, Dark Rituals still being used. All right, Flying Machine looking to escape away, and it will end up surviving. Labyrinth once again has 4 Acolytes mining at this gold mine. All right, some crazy, frantic fights going back and forth. Paladin sitting at level 5 and level 3. Mountain King coming in as that third and final hero. Paladin actually has level 3 Holy Light over level 3 Devotion Aura. Sometimes players may often go for that level 3 Devotion Aura first, as the Rifleman can't really get fully healed and healed up all that much. Skeletal minion quickly getting taken down. In comes a Death Coil Frost Nova onto one Rifleman right there. Lich once more low on mana, gonna try and retreat back. Stormbolt catching a Ghoul out of position, as the units do need to continue to retreat. Chicken stuck in the middle of the road, causing a bit of problems. You see that Lich not liking that chicken, as it kind of tripped over for just a second. Lich being brought back over into the fight. Is he gonna be able to get off some more Frost Novas again, as we are looking at dual Obsidian statues, keeping this army topped off on health and mana? All right, quad mortar team gonna make very short work of this base here. Meanwhile, a big fight in the middle portion of the match here. Remember, that is 12 supply that is taking down buildings instead of actually trying to engage against the army. So the standing army of Labyrinth may actually be larger here, as more damage still coming back across. Well, Destroyers trying to shut it down. That Goblin Shredder, the Goblin Shredder actually the weakest link right there, as it cannot be healed by that Paladin's Holy Light. More damage still coming back on through here. Devotion Aura still standing strong as the Unholy Aura trying to get all of these units moving into the right position as the Obsidian statues were a bit too far away from the action. Death Coil onto the Lich, no Orb of Fire, so that 600 600 hit point heal still working quite wonders. 65 supply compared to 70. Both sides still fighting away as the mortar teams are finishing off the remainder of this building here. Who's winning out this fight while that base gets taken down? That is the question, as more and more riflemen are still getting healed up nicely. Meanwhile, Blood Mage trying to retreat back here. Lich, while getting in quite a big, large amount of damage. Another Holy Light there as the Paladin tries to keep that Blood Mage alive and well. All right, more damage, more focus fire here. Banish onto the Blood Mage, but no, Frost Nova finds its target. He was trying to avoid all of that damage there, ends up getting taken down, as now the Lich could continue to fight its way through, perhaps taking down a couple of these riflemen. All right, mortar teams are trying to retreat back here. Death Knight finding target after target as we're now transitioning into siege engines instead. Death Knight, Lich continuing to battle things up. Blood Mage quickly getting resurrected. Siphon mana, however, not yet quite readily available as the Blood Mage tries to retreat back. Lich does have enough mana for a Frost Nova. Death Knight trying to keep up with that Blood Mage. Blood Mage down to 200 hit points, back up to, well, full, as we see another rifleman get taken out there. All right, crazy back and forth game here. Acolytes chasing all the way back home. Main gold mine only has 2,000 gold left here, and a lot of very low hit point riflemen need to be healed back up. 49 supply compared to 59. Economic advantage currently for the undead as he is not in low upkeep, so 20 gold a second compared to 14 as the expansions only have a little bit more mining as well. Bottom left hand side here, siege engine with 3-0 upgrades, gonna roll on over, perhaps try and take down more key buildings. The mortar teams and, well, the ability for the human player to just destroy buildings cannot be overlooked. Level 3 on the Lich, level 3 now on that Dark Ranger as well. Death Knight actually a little bit too close to all of the action, as the Death Knight could transfer that pendant back over to that Lich and give it, well, just continue to give it more and more mana. Lich hoping for more dark rituals. Death Knight actually needs to back away, taking a bit of that experience away from that Lich, and if that Lich could have gotten level 4, level 2 dark ritual, there it goes, up to level 4, now gonna go ahead and try and fight. All right, backing away, there's a Death Coil there. Blood Mage, siphon mana away from the Dark Ranger. Dark Ranger does not have, or could not use silence once out of mana, and now siphoning mana away from the Death Knight as well. Both sides continuing to fight. Well, we're looking at the Book of the Dead quickly being dispelled by the priest there, as both sides are still fighting their way through. Stormbolt onto the Lich. Lich unable to break that connection there, down to 125 mana, and still trying to retreat back more. Banish, wow, Holy Light trying to finish off the Death Knight. Death Knight using a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability in time. Death Knight now continuing to retreat back. Paladin perhaps could have gotten a Holy Light or a Stormbolt on that fleeing Death Knight, as the Lich now in serious trouble, and Chaemiko gonna be able to shut down that level 4 Lich and perhaps does not get to level 6, as the Paladin, well, could try and finish things off more and more. That Paladin just a little bit shy from getting to level 6. Meanwhile, Lich getting resurrected at the tavern, as we're looking at a siege engine trying to retreat back. Death Knight sitting at level 5 right now. Gonna go get that finished off right there, getting more experience still. 59 supply compared to 65. This game still going back and forth. High level heroes. Paladin, well, if it comes down to Paladin Resurrection versus the Undead Animate Dead, that could actually be a pretty hilarious scenario where one ultimate ability actually counters the other. Paladin does get up to level 6. He does have Resurrection available. We can see perhaps a couple of riflemen about to get taken down, but if the Death Knight can get off enough kills against enough of these units, he can actually go for Animate Dead, and if he has the mana, be able to shut down the other player's ultimate ability. It may come down to who is able to use it at the right moment, but right now Chaemiko is the one with mana, as while this Death Knight comes back online here. There is some resurrection there. Priest back online, rifleman getting back online there, as a Ghoul getting slipped away once more. Well, Death Knight gets up to level 6, gonna try and retreat back. We could see all of these corpses. I'm not quite sure what these corpses actually are, but if these corpses come online for Animate Dead and they are actually riflemen, big damage could in fact be dealt. The expansion, however, losing all of its acolytes, as Chaemiko now taking a bit of that economic lead. Death Knight now being brought back over. Are we gonna see an Animate Dead? There's Death Coil right there. Siphon mana. Death Knight does have a potion of mana still. He wants to break that chain. What's happening? Continuing to just drain all of that mana back and forth. Mountain King could be in trouble. Gonna get blasted there. Level 3 Mountain King falls as we're still fighting our way through. He's trapped up back into a corner. There is no Scroll of Town Portal available, and Human may actually just be throwing this game away here, trying to fight this way through. Death Knight still has plenty of mana, and still trying to fight, well, shoot his way out or take down all of these units, as we're looking at all of these riflemen in the back position here, fairly well protected. All right, Lich falls at level 4 during this franticness as the Death Knight still trying to make a bit of a play here. Dark Ranger falls, and that is gonna be the game. A level 6 Death Knight unable to hold it all together, and well, that resurrection adding more to that army. Pretty much an all-in situation there, being able to outlast his opponent. Chaemiko constantly just able to siphon off so much mana from the undead heroes and those obsidian statues that the holy light was just pretty much constantly online. Mountain King able to shut down a couple of hero escapes with those storm bolts, and well, it looked like an easy win, as well, powerful heroes coupled with great focus fire able to come away with the victory there. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.